Hi, thanks for calling the Feminist Hotline. Please hold.
Hi!
Welcome back to the Feminist Hotline podcast. I'm Dylan.
And I'm Harper, and this week we are going to be talking about Andrew Tate. But before we get into that, Dylan, how was your week?
It was all right. I didn't see you. I haven't seen you for the past 2 weeks, and we haven't recorded in 2 weeks.
It's been a
minute.
Yeah.
But, not much happened, but I know you have a big story, so you get into that.
I do have a big story. So, I haven't been to school in 2 weeks. I had a winter break because I was really sick. Just like the first week I was just really sick. Yeah, just really, really sick. And then I went to my dad's, and it was an altitude change because he lives in the Lake Tahoe area. And that put pressure on my ears and my sinuses. So when I got home, I not only had an ear infection, but a sinus infection. And so I got home and I was having really intense vertigo, which is just when you're dizzy. And everything was moving up and down, and I just had to stare straight ahead. And then the next morning, I came upstairs looking like I was doing drugs because my pupils, you couldn't see the color in my eyes. My pupils were really, really dilated. So we went to my doctor, who then said I had to go to the emergency room because I was like dizzy and confused and my pupils were huge. So I went to the emergency room and they did blood tests. They did an MRI. We were there for 9 hours though. It was really intense. But it was all because my pupils were huge and they all thought I was a drug addict. And they made my mom leave the room like 3 times to confirm I wasn't doing drugs. They drug tested me. They thought I was on drugs. That's how big my pupils were. So then I went to an eye specialist because they said I had to go to an eye specialist, who said, I'm not worried, but if your pupils are still dilated in a week, then come back. And my pupils are still dilated. I look like I'm on drugs. And yeah.
Also, if you think like that is confusing, she had to tell me this like over text, and I would be reading it. I'd be like, what is going on? And I feel like people know that people came to me when they were like, what's going on with Harper? She hasn't been here for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I had no idea what to say. I just kept saying that you were really sick. And then one day I was just so
I was in the emergency room.
I was just so over it. And they were like, what happened to Harper? And I was like, she's dead.
No.
And like, it was like, I had no idea how to explain it.
I'm just, okay.
Because I was confused too.
Well, okay, here's the thing. I was already really dizzy, and I had to stare straight ahead, and they did so many blood tests. I was so loopy.
I know.
I was like, oh.
No, but I thought you were just sick. And then on Monday, you were texting me. You were like, I did an MRI. I was like, what?
No. Yeah, so moral of the story, huge pupils, confusion, dizziness, sinus infection, ear infection.
Kind of happy. Wait, do you still have the infection stuff?
Yeah, I'm on medicine, and I'm on amoxicillin, which makes me kind of loopy. So I'm like taking these probiotics to like fight it off. So if I'm a little loopy right now, that's why. Oh, and also before we start, this will be quick. Dylan and I discovered a journal from a couple years ago that I kept. And Dylan?
Oh, yeah, we were just wondering if, like, email us if you want to hear us
reading it.
We'll like
There's
talk about it and stuff.
So much drama in there.
The tea in that thing. Like,
and I'm really different. I promise.
No, Harper, you were so toxic.
I was a hypocrite.
I can't. It was so funny.
But email us at thefeministhotlinepodcast@gmail.com if you and type like I want the journal if you want us to do an episode. Yeah. This has nothing to do with feminism.
Yeah, we might not make it just because it's like a little bit unprofessional.
If enough people email us,
if a few people say we want it, then like sure,
we'll read you my journal, and it'll
be funny.
Yeah, it's fun.
Okay, let's get into the episode.
Okay, so now we're gonna be more serious. Sorry, we are gonna ramble sometimes a little bit. We are so mad.
We just watched a few videos, and we're in the middle of this like hour-long video
of like about Andrew Tate,
and we are pissed off right now.
He is a disgusting man.
Let's not go into that. But
anyway, who is Andrew Tate? Dylan.
Who is Andrew Tate? All right, I'm kind of reading off Wikipedia, but he is an American British social media personality, businessman, and former professional kickboxer. So he's an internet celebrity promoting basically like an ultra masculine, ultra luxurious lifestyle kind of. Yeah, that's what he's putting That's what he puts on the internet. He is a misogynist, and he's just
We're about to get into something.
yeah.
But just
I don't want to give up too much stuff because we're about to get into this. And he's also been kicked off of, like, so many social media platforms.
Been kicked off of every social media platform.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So the next topic, we're gonna have some trouble recording. We can't input the recordings of what was happening because it is just awful.
We just listened to it, and I'm like, we almost started
I want
to cry.
It's so
and it's like
bad.
It's actually like hard to talk on this and hard to record.
Like,
just knowing that,
because we have to be censored, but we are so mad that everybody's just like, oh, Andrew Tate, and like laughing at it and whatever. But like, these women aren't being highlighted, and it's just really hard for us to record. So I'm sorry if we ramble or pause. Okay, so the first topic we are going to be talking about is the abuse he did and the domestic violence.
So yeah, and major trigger warning for this part and for the whole episode, like sexual harassment, sexual assault, rape, domestic violence, assault, all of it. If you want to click off, we completely understand. We're having some trouble recording this episode as well. We might need to pause and take a break because we've been getting very angry and very emotional researching
awful.
this.
So
and it's just awful.
Let's get into so we have two examples we're going to talk about. The first one being Andrew Tate. He is kind of known for being on a reality TV, is where he started getting famous. Was about 10 years ago. He was on a reality TV show called Big Brother. He was kicked off of this show because of footage released of him beating a woman with a belt. And a lot of the time, in the recordings that we listened to, it was him. I got nauseous. This is actually disgusting. It was him saying, I beat you because you don't listen to me. And just being disgusting, and he was pounding on this girl's door saying, come out, you stupid, saying all this stuff, being incredibly abusive. And again, we were gonna input the sounds
because we did that in our last episode, but it's like you can't.
It made us almost cry. It's disgusting.
If you want to go search this up and like experience, not experience. Oh,
listen to it.
If you want to listen to it, you can go do that. But it's like we're not gonna.
It's so bad. The second example.
All right. So the second example.
It's a little.
They're both disgusting, but honestly, this one kind of like sent me like this.
Yeah.
So basically, it was him recording this woman, and she was in lingerie, like she was in a thong and a bra, and basically he had a belt in his hand, and he was telling her to say something like,
he was like, tell the camera I beat you when you don't do as I say.
Yeah. And so she said it very muffled. We couldn't, because it was just a audio recording.
I think she said it wrong.
But then she said it not exactly as he said, and then he was just like hitting her with this belt, and she was crying, like she was sobbing. And like, he was like, why? So tell me why I'm like hitting you. And she was like, because I don't listen. And that like actually broke my heart.
We're sorry. We're not giving. This was gonna be really informational, and we were just gonna focus on the recent thing that happened, which we'll go into. But we were just looking back. This is way too important to skip over.
Yeah, like when we were recording a section before, and we were like, we sounded way too, like, this is incredibly disturbing. We sounded way too happy. And it was just...
This is... Like, I don't even know what to say. We need to pause.
All right. Sorry about that. Well, actually, you know what? I'm not going to say sorry. Me and Harper, we're feeling really emotional right now.
But this is shocking. We're sorry.
Yeah. So there was a video of him talking... an interviewer asked him about the video, and the first example that we made. Also, the interviewer was being so unprofessional about it and being like...
They were laughing at his... Anyway, so the first thing we're going to talk about that he said, any man who is bad with a woman will look at this and think, oh, Andrew Tate is a woman beater. any man who's good with a woman will think, oh man, he's a G. Like, what the heck?
What?
How is that being good with a woman? Abuse? That's great.
There's some men who, like, probably, that are good with women, and then they're like, no, that is abusive.
Yeah.
Like, it just absolutely makes no sense. And there was a clip later on in that video, or actually, like, right after, that literally... Okay. Okay.
This one got us so mad.
We actually paused the video, and we, like, yelled for, like, 30 seconds. But he said that any man who is an actual G and who has been around will know that he said that she'll want that.
She wants
it. She was crying.
She was so uncomfortable.
And it was more than uncomfortable. she was crying. And then for him to say,
interviewers were just laughing like, yeah.
And for him to say that she wants it, what the actual...
This makes me so mad.
And this is probably the part we'll be, like, most upset. We'll probably be a little bit more professional in the later. I don't know.
I know.
I don't know. I'm very mad.
We're not giving you quite too many.
Hopefully, we're making you angry though, because that's.
We're not giving you quite as many facts. I'm sorry. We're just so mad. We don't even know what to say.
Yeah, because it's also like we want to give you the facts and the information and the evidence, but it's like all that is so disturbing, and it's like I don't want to say get it on your own time, but like. We can't import the recordings or anything. It's we can only tell you how we're feeling about the world.
This is just, it makes me want to cry.
I know.
I hope he dies in a ditch.
Oh my, I mean, you know what?
Yeah.
Same, girl.
Bleep you, Andrew Tate. And just to go on with this topic, Andrew Tate, we were listening to one of his odd videos, or they all are odd. We couldn't comprehend of what he was saying because he is a manipulator. And he manipulates words in a way that I don't even know, but
that ties into what we were saying, because basically I heard this thing about his fan base being like, oh yeah, for sure, like she did want that. But it's like, no. She was crying. She did not want that at all.
Who wants to be beaten by a belt?
Exactly. But the thing with Andrew Tate is I do not believe with anything he says. But he is persuasive in a way that I feel like that's why he has the whole, or not the whole internet, no. But that's why he has his like when you actually listen to his stuff, it doesn't make much sense. But for someone who like, I don't know, it's persuasive,
young, like, especially for young boys who are listening. We'll go more into this later, but he is just a master manipulator of the media, and he made the media dismiss this abuse that he is doing as a case of just, oh, she wanted it, that's how their relationship works. If your relationship works like that, that's an abusive relationship. And oh my god.
And he even we didn't notice this in the last clip where we were talking about it, but he said that it was normal. Like, no, it's not normal at all. And the fact that he said that and then people were like, oh yeah, it is, just shows how he manipulates his words and that people believe him because he's just very persuasive. Also, in the video, he just also he mentions that this is what a G does, Like, this is what a G does. This is what a real man does, whatever. And it's just like, he has a big audience of like young boys, and then they're all thinking, oh, well, this is what a real man does. And it's like, no. And a real man, like, I'm not trying to, but a real man does not abuse their partner.
No. And I just want to say this and make this very clear in case there's any boys listening to this at all. And I doubt there is. We don't have many listeners. But if there's any boys listening to this, and girls too, just so you know, I guess.
Yeah.
But Andrew Tate is dangerous and powerful, but not because of physical dominance or what. It is because
to the people he's close to, yes, but
Yeah, but just, he's dangerous because of manipulation. And I'm telling you, he is a dangerous manipulator, and boys, that is not how you want to be That is not what a real man is. And it's just... So the next topic we are going to be talking about, which it doesn't really it ties into kind of mental abuse, I would say.
Yeah.
Is Andrew Tate's control he thinks he has over women. He thinks he should have over women.
Yeah. And specifically women that he is close to.
Yeah.
All right. So basically, if you are here and you've like heard about Andrew Tate, like one of the things he's known for, what he's like spoken about, is the OnlyFans thing. Basically saying that, you know, if he's okay with his woman, his quote, you know what I mean, his girlfriend or whatever, posting pictures of herself on OnlyFans, as long as he gets a cut of the money, but most of the money, because it is his property.
She is his property.
She is his property. Her body is his property, and if she is going to be showing his body on social media, which is, you know,
this is really confusing. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Then he should get a cut of the money. Also, in another thing where he was saying, he said, "No, I don't believe that women are my property, but since their body is mine, I like, what are you even saying? What, you know what?"
Like, this is another thing of him just not making sense.
Like, he just...
I'm sorry, we're not laughing because we think this is funny.
Yeah.
We're just laughing because he is such an idiot. He contradicts himself so much. And why does he think he has entitlement? Or, like...
What is told him?
Who told him that he can just...
You know what
own a woman, basically. It's just like... And then he also, I wanted to talk about this with his control over women. He talked about him not wanting his woman to go out in the club or whatever. Like, you stay home, you don't do this. But then he's also bragging about all these women in the club and he loves it, right? You can't do that. You can't, like, he's only he's only letting women do stuff when it benefits him. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
which is another way of him showing that women are objects and that they're just for his pleasure. Disgusting.
But what's new?
We hate you. All right, so the last topic that we're going to be discussing is the current events with Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan Tate, as well as 2 other women. And so basically, Andrew and his brother were arrested in December because they found 2 other women, 1 Romanian woman, 1 American woman, held captive in their home.
So Andrew Tate was arrested for human sex trafficking and rape. And he had actually had allegations against him for sex trafficking before, but there wasn't evidence to prove it. However, this time, there was 2 women being held captive in his house, and they had experienced not only violence and assault, but also mental coercion, and this is what kind of ties into his manipulation. Yeah. He manipulated them he tried to make them fall in love with him, essentially give them Stockholm syndrome, which is like where you are affectionate and you like the person who's holding you captive or abusing you.
Which is just so creepy. Oh my gosh.
I know.
I literally can't even...
But the way
it gives me such an ick. Like, ew.
But the way they found him... The way they found out he was in... Romania was because he was posting an hour-long video about Greta Thunberg and all her weird stuff. She's not weird. She had a comeback towards him.
Yeah.
A really awesome comeback. And anyway... And they looked at the pizza box that was from a Romanian, I don't know, like pizza store, and they found out where he was, and that was very cool. Anyway, yeah.
All right, so what is happening with Andrew Tate right now?
So the first thing is he was banned off of multiple social media platforms, rightfully so. He is a psychopath.
Yes, and he was sentenced to 30 days in jail for sex trafficking and rape.
Which, how did
30 days?
And I think Dylan and I, we were just debating this before recording, if like there was something else as the only reason he got 30 days.
It's hard for me to wrap my mind around that. Like, sex trafficking and rape, I feel like they're...
And we do not know. We were just saying, like, maybe, like, he is very rich.
Yeah, he's a millionaire.
So he could definitely pay his way to get less time. But we don't know if that's what happened, because...
I feel like that have had to happen, because there's just no... I don't know.
There's...
My brain was not, like, comprehending that. Like, it
30 days for raping someone and then sex trafficking.
Anyways, that is what is happening with Andrew Tate right now. All right, so that concludes our episode on Andrew Tate. We also know there's so many more things that he has done and said that is just ridiculous and horrible. But we did not get to them today, so I'm sorry about that if you felt offended. But, yeah.
My grandpa's name was Andrew. That's so sad. Now I'm just going to think about that. And then my brother, his middle name, he's named after him.
He's not named after Andrew Tate.
No, he's named after my grandpa.
Also, if you listen to this whole episode and you, like, still like Andrew Tate or whatever, just know that he literally... he thought that Greta Thunberg, whatever, was enslaved by the Matrix.
Yeah.
He really saw that sci-fi movie and was like, that is facts right there. He took that way too seriously.
And then also, like, another thing, he thinks the world's problems will be solved if women, like, all the world's problems will be solved if women write their body counts on their forehead.
So, that's what...
Yeah, anyway.
All right. We love you
so much.
Thank you so much for listening.